A request to change zoning of the northwest corner of Five Rocks and Country Club Road failed Monday night, even though a majority of the Gering City Council voted in affirmative. There were 2 hours of testimony, both for and against the proposal from Katie Smith, co-owner of Elite Physical Therapy, who sought to purchase the land for a fourplex business center that would have consolidated the current Elite Physical Therapy locations and included a spa, gym, and coffee shop. Janie Smith was among those speaking out against the proposed change, saying the development should be downtown.
We would want businesses on that highway taking away people from our downtown. This is my problem. I think that if we had some sign that said, Gering this way, and so people would go through the whole downtown or go downtown, instead of thinking, oh, this is the little town of Gering, here's the shopping center, oh my, and just going by on the highway. I think we could bring more people downtown, revitalize our downtown. I think it's looking great with that park and everything. I mean, that's fabulous.
Business owner and former Gering School Board member Brian Copsey told the council it's amazing that a main artery in the community has 0 businesses.
That lot has been empty for 50 years. If it was such a great opportunity for housing, somebody would have approached them and bought it. There is a need for housing in Gering. There are a lot of areas to build. This obviously is not one of them. This makes a great option for a business.
Resident Kevin Mooney called the proposed change spot zoning and said he discussed what could possibly go onto the lot in the future with city engineer Annie Folk.
I mentioned storage units. She said they're not going to do that. But there is still a possibility of somebody putting a convenience store in there with 6 pumps. You'd be limited to 6 pumps in there. Do I really want an area where you're going to have somebody filling up all the time and maybe they have lower prices than everybody else? It just, we don't know what C1 is exactly going to end up being for us in that area.
Former City Council member Ben Backus countered that rejection of the change would reinforce a negative perception of the community.
Perception builds reality, and the perception that Gering has got, whether it's deserved or not, is that we're not very business friendly. When I was on council, I would hear that all the time, and people would still bring up the barbecue situation that came up before. It was discussed it would not be spot zoning in the commission meeting, so for my 8 years on council, I can confidently say that this is not a spot zone because it meets a comprehensive plan for the nodes being appropriate in high traffic areas.
A petition had been filed protesting the possible zoning change and was found to be signed by at least 20% of nearby property owners, requiring the change to get 6 yes votes to pass. The council voted 5-2, with Susan Wiedemann and Pam O'Neill voting against the proposal. New Councilman James Jackson was among those voting in the affirmative, and Todd C. was absent, and the request failed.